So next month will mark my 2-year journaling anniversary. I don't know if that means anything, but I'm gonna make it something because journaling has been such a helpful tool in my life. I feel like journaling has provided me a home for all of my thoughts. It's given me so much mental clarity. It makes me feel more in tune with who I am, and it gives me a tool for difficult and uncomfortable moments. And it's something that I appreciate more than anything in this world. And I am proud to say that I feel like I've reaped a majority, and if not all, the benefits. I say a majority because I feel like with journaling, there's so much to unveil about yourself. There's so much more to learn. There's so much more to gain from journaling that you don't even realize it until you kind of sit down and think about it. And that's what I did recently. I kind of sat down and went through all of my journals. I went through all 6 of them, which is a little over 900 pages of my thoughts. And I found one thing that I kind of just took for granted all these years. It's the idea that journaling is extremely repetitive. And honestly, looking back, there were some journal entries that I kind of skipped through because, they kind of echoed the same sentiment. They kind of said the same thing as the previous ones. I don't know, I kind of talked about the same thing over and over again. And I feel like back then I was doing that in order to find a different conclusion. Because of that, I feel like journaling has embedded this quality into me that I appreciate more than anything else, and that's being consistent despite not seeing any results. I feel like journaling does such a good job at that. The more and more that you journal, the more and more you realize that there are some issues that persist for months, sometimes even years. There's some things that just pop up and you feel the need to write about it. It becomes more and more repetitive. It's kind of fills your journal with the same thought over and over again. But I feel like that's necessary when it comes to journaling. I feel like journaling and repetitiveness are inseparable from each other. Like the more and more that I journal, the more and more that I realize that if you're not writing about the same thing over and over again, if you're not being repetitive, if you're not revisiting old thoughts, revisiting old issues, then I feel like you're doing it wrong. That might be controversial, that might be just me, but I look at earlier works like Marcus Aurelius in his book Temptations, in his book Meditations. His book, it's not his book, but his journal entries were really repetitive. He talks about death a lot. He talked about human nature and fulfilling this human nature, and I feel like there was at least one journal entry about that topic every single page. It was extremely repetitive, but I feel like he already had this idea that if it wasn't repetitive, there would be no purpose in journaling at all. And I feel like that's a lesson that I've learned recently about journaling, and it's that being consistent, doing it over and over again, despite not seeing any results. And it's a hard thing to do. I feel like I do that in almost everything in my life. I do that in journaling, I do that in the gym, I do that in meaningless books I read that honestly provide me no immediate benefit, but after all these years of reading, after all these years of gathering information, I've realized that they kind of contribute to where I am today. They all kind of tell the story of Kent. They tell the story of me. They echo something that I wouldn't be able to even describe in words. They are all such small increments, but they all add up to something so big, and I feel like that's something that journaling has taught me recently. And I feel like I really, really, really want to transfer this quality, this skill into other things, other than the gym, other than reading, other than journaling. I want to transfer it into meditating more. I want to get out there and discover myself. I want to make more videos. I want to get closer to who I am and live the life that I want to live. And that's just so happens to revolve around storytelling and writing and possibly filmmaking. But I feel like that's just a thought that I had recently. That's the main thought that I had when I came crawling back into my journals, trying to understand more of where I came from. Honestly, if I go back, I might learn something new. I might gain more, and that's just the beauty of journaling. But anyways, my name's Kent. I'm really excited for the future. Not just myself, but everybody around me and everybody in this world. And I just want to say, I think you're doing all right. All right, bye. I'll talk to you next time.